Hello folks, in this video I want to break down the QueryAPI of DynamoDB. Let's start from the definition. The QueryAPI lets you retrieve multiple items with the same partition key. Bear in mind that you will use the QueryAPI when modeling and retrieving data that includes relations. You can use the QueryAPI to easily fetch all related objects in a one-to-many or many-to-many relationship. Let's have a look on the AWS documentation on the different values that you can use on the sort key. Okay, so this is the AWS documentation, and as we can see on the query, the important bit is that we have to specify partition key and value as an equality condition. So we can't use any other conditions on the partition key, but on the sort key, we can use different conditions, which could be like less than, greater than, or between values like A between B and C. So we will see on an example how we can leverage the sort key to run complex query using the QueryAPI. I created this example table on NoSQL Workbench, and this is like an author and books table. We have a composite key, a composite primary key with partition key, the name of the authors, and sort key, the book's title. And then I added different attributes such as genre, year, and pages. So let's say, for example, we want to retrieve all the books for a specific author. We can do that with the QueryAPI. We can do that specifying on the partition key the name of the author we want to get the books from. So for example, let's say we want to get all the books for Dostoevsky. We will need to specify on the query the author name Dostoevsky, and what we will get from the QueryAPI is the item collection based on the value of the partition key that we just specified. So in this case, we will get like Demos and the brothers Karamazov. Let's see how the query looks like seeing some Node.js code. Okay, this is like the query example written in Node.js. And the first part is just the like requiring AWS SDK library and creating a DynamoDB object. Then I created this function called find book by author. We're gonna have as an input the author name, and let's break down the params to actually call the QueryAPI. So the first one is expression attribute values, where we specify the author on the table. So we're gonna here this value means this is a string, and we are passing the value that we get from the input. Then we're gonna say, okay, the expression attribute names, when I see hashtag author, I'm referring to the primary key of the table. And then the query itself is author equals author, which means primary key equals the value that I'm getting here in the input. Then the last thing is to specify the table name, which is in this case is library, and then we can just run the query calling the DynamoDB object.query. You're gonna get an error or the actual data from the query itself. This was a very simple query where we just specified the partition key, but let's see like a more complicated example. Let's say we want to query all the books by genre and books that were written between two specific years, let's say year A and year B. For doing that, we need to create a new index because it's not possible right now with this just by querying partition key or sort key. And when I mean it's not possible in an efficient way. So we need to create a global secondary index on the table. We can do that by, as I said, creating a GSI on the table, specifying partition key on the GSI as the genre attribute and sort key as the year attribute. In this way, we were gonna have like a different item collections, and we're gonna have like the books grouped by the genre, and then we can like filter them based on the year. Let's see how the query looks like. So what we want to get is getting the find books by genre and year. We're gonna have as an input the genre. It's gonna be genre. It's gonna be like start year and end year of where we want to query the books. Let's reuse the structure that we used for the query we did before. In this case, we're gonna have different attributes values. we're gonna have genre here. It's gonna be the input. It's a string, but then we're gonna also have like start here. It's gonna be like start y easier. This is gonna be a number, so I have to specify here the n, and this is gonna be start here. Same thing for the one below. It's gonna be end here. This is a number again, and this is like it's gonna be the end here. Okay, good. Special attribute names. In this case, we want to query the genre attribute on the table, which is genre with the capital G, if I remember well. Yes, and same thing for the year. It's gonna be hashtag year. We can do just Y, and here's gonna be year again with the capital Y. The key condition expression. This is a completely different query, so we're gonna do like hashtag genre equals column genre, and so here we're saying we're using the equals condition on the primary key of the index, and now we want to specify the between values for the start and end year. So we're gonna need to do like hashtag y between, it's gonna be between start year and end year. And this, of course, these values are gonna substitute with the ones we're gonna get on the input of the function. Then we have table name library, but we also have to specify the index name because we're not querying on the table itself, but we're querying an index, and I call the index just GSI, very simple. Actually, I call it GSI underscore 1. And this is like how the query looks like. It's a little bit more complex than the one before, but it's still very understandable. And then we just call DynamoDB query, and we're gonna get the result. And that's it. I hope this query overview was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments, and for other videos, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Cheers.